What's up, Facebook?
Hello, coming to you from our true office, the car.
Another episode of Get Real with Real Estate, a little bit of a different setting this time.
Totally.
We've been running around all day and we figured we'd just stop for a quick video.
Yeah. So, John and I always being on the go, we find ourselves in our car very often, so we thought, what more appropriate way to manage this video than to do it from our mobile office? So we're talking about communication today, and communication truly being key to a transaction. It is kind of insane, John and I experiencing other agents and other industry professionals who simply don't seem to have communication in their tool belt in terms of how they do their business. And we've been able to notice firsthand. Oh, are we going to lose? Okay, perfect. So you guys are on the dashboard, so if we lose you, that is why. But ultimately, we see firsthand how communication affects a transaction, positively, negatively. There are agents here in San Diego that we know when we get an offer from them, we know what their communication is like in a positive way or a negative way. And we've seen firsthand ourselves how many offers we've been able to get accepted for our clients just by using and utilizing our exceptional communication skills.
Yeah, it's like she said, I mean, it's shocking to us, I would say, especially when we're on the listing side. So when we're representing a seller and getting their property sold, it's shocking to us, like the amount of times where we'll just like get an offer and we've never heard anything from the agent. We just get an email and so it's like, hey, here it is. And it's like, okay, like I have no idea,
who are you? Who's your client?
How do you work? How do you operate? So what this video is really about is basically when you're interviewing agents and considering who you're going to hire to help you buy, sell, or both, really take a look at how they communicate. Do they communicate effectively? Are they timely in their communication? Or are they scattered and all over the place? You can never get a hold of them. You call them and their voicemail box is full. They're two drastically different experiences. And the reason you really want to take a close look at it is because how they communicate with you is very likely how they communicate with other agents, and it will have a direct impact on your success as a buyer or a seller.
Yeah, and I would argue that if they're communicating with you in that capacity and you are their client, they're likely communicating not even equivalent.
Even more poorly.
They are probably communicating 5 to 10 times as poorly as their communication is with you, with other agents, and with other industry professionals. So that being said, the way that your agent handles communication and the way that anybody that's on your team, your lender, your title rep, your escrow officer, whoever you're choosing to be, your best team, if any of them are experiencing really poor communication, it's something that you absolutely get to address because it is going to affect how your offers are accepted, if they're even accepted. And we see it in our business all day long. Honestly, we've been able to get a lot of our clients' offers accepted recently because we're starting to build up a reputation of actually having really amazing communication. So we'll submit an offer, and the agent will recognize our names and be like, ooh, John and Melissa Steele, I've heard you guys are really great to work with. Where do you think in an offer of a dozen, or a pile of a dozen offers, ours is sitting? Probably on top with that type of expectation, because I will be honest with you guys in saying that a real estate agent can absolutely make or break a transaction. Sometimes one of the ways, if we're advising our sellers and we've got multiple offers on the table, part of John and I's research is actually on the agents who are representing those buyers' offers. We want to know how competent that agent is going to be in getting the property to the finish line with their buyer, how good they are at problem solving and communicating, how they've communicated with us this far, why their client wants the property, why they're excited, what their professionalism is that showing through. So we are able to get such a clear indication of how qualified the buyer is and how awesome the buyer is going to be to work with through experiencing their agent.
Yeah, and it's like Melissa said, I mean, it's something you need to have a very good pulse on how your agent is representing you, because that's what an agent does ultimately, is they're representing you in the transaction. They're handling the negotiations, all the different moving pieces, coordinating between title, between escrow, between buyer, seller, listing agent, buyer's agent. So there's a ton of moving pieces, and it's just very important that you have someone who's got a good pulse on all those moving pieces so that when things come up, you know, you can address them with urgency. Because, you know, there's a very, you know, Melissa mentioned, when we're on the selling side especially and we start getting offers, we do look into the agents that are writing those offers. And there's, you know, if we've got, you know, 3 or 4 offers on the table, and okay, maybe they're all, you know, pretty similar as far as terms and price and all that, but, you know, you've got, let's say, you know, 2 of the agents we've never heard anything from, and when we look them up, you know, maybe they've done 3 deals in the past 2 years, and, you know, then you have some other guy who's literally, you know, on the phone with us every day texting, hey, did you get our offer? Awesome, you accepted it. What are your seller's thoughts? You know, are there any terms that you want us to adjust? Like, you know, what's your seller's motivation? How can we make this offer work for you? Like, it's a dramatic difference. It's night and day. Mm-hmm. And I joke sometimes that when we're on the buyer side, I firmly plant myself up the seller, or, you know, up the listing agent's ass, because I'm like, you know, I'm doing whatever within my power to get this done for my client. And I will basically drive it home, like, my client is super serious, like, we are not messing around, we are going to get this done. You pick our offer, and, like, we will get it to the finish line.
Yeah, and we show them that through even the initial offer, you know, kind of decision making. As the seller's deciding on their offers, maybe 2 or 3 days goes by and they've got a dozen offers on the table. We position ourselves as number 1 in, like John said, our interest, in how many times we're following up with the agent. And we're not annoying. Like, you joked about positioning yourself in their ass. We're not annoying about it. We're not blowing and lighting up that agent, but casually, 2 or 3 times a day, hey, any update from the seller? Is there anything about our offer that they didn't love? Is there anything our client can do better to present themselves to the seller? You know, just asking the questions that show how interested we are, and also providing help to listing agent. Sometimes it's stressful and confusing, and there's a lot of moving pieces when you have 12 to 20 offers on the table. So here's our client, really organized, stress-free. You know, like, our lender's happy to chat with you on the phone. When we submit our offer, like, it's crystal clear as to what the terms of the offer are and how easy it's going to be for that listing agent to work with us, because we're going to man half that deal. So absolutely, when we are representing our clients, as you guys know, we're so committed to our clients getting their offers accepted, having an amazing experience, that communication for us is a given. Like, it's never crossed our mind that we wouldn't answer our phone. Yeah. Which is kind of shocking considering how many agents don't. But ultimately, we're here to be a resource all the time for our clients and position them in the best light. We have a really intense responsibility as real estate agents to, you know, be acting in fiduciary duty for our clients. And we take that very seriously at Team Steele San Diego Homes. And as you're interviewing agents, we encourage you to find an agent who really takes that seriously as well and is committed to exceptional communication. Not just good, not standard, not what gets them by, but exceptional communication, because time and time again, we've seen that that's how our clients get their offers accepted. That's how they experience success and pleasure through the transaction.
Yeah, and just one more thing before we sign off. You know, it's interesting to see, because we see it all over the place. It's, you know, it's not always the agents who have a lot of business who operate, you know, in a not great communication way. And then I'm stumbling over my words a little, but basically what I'm saying is that there are agents who do tons of business and will still, every time you call them, they answer the phone or they get back to you within an hour. And there are agents who do no business and you can never get a hold of them. So it doesn't really have any determination on how much business they're doing, because there are also agents who do a ton of business and they are a pain in the ass to get a hold of. Mm-hmm. And it's frustrating to work with them. Yes, they're doing business, but it's a tedious process and it's painful for everyone involved.
Yeah. So there's no correlation between, like, the amount of business.
So it's just like being conscious when you're interviewing your agent, and through the process, like, if you're, you know, maybe it started out great, but now you're a month in and it's like crickets every time you, like, really evaluate that, and, like, how is that, you know, affecting you from the perspective of your experience as a buyer, but also, like, how is that affecting other people in the transaction?
Absolutely. So yeah, we hope you enjoyed our little tidbit today. Hope you guys found it helpful. Again, if you're agent is not up to par in communication, you are worthy of having a conversation with them to get their communication from here to here. And if not, then truly, ultimately, my honest advice to you is you get to fire their ass. Because if you're not having offers accepted, that's probably a really fantastic reason why lack of communication can be the demise to any transaction. So hope you guys are having a fantastic weekend. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye, guys.